Hi, my name is Ryan Pesch. I'm an extension educator. I work in community economic development and often around marketing with those who direct market. So the question here for you as a producer is, does wholesale make sense for you, or is wholesale right for you? Now, sometimes when we think about our farm finances, we might look like this guy, where he's either looks really desperate, doesn't know what to do, or he's at the end of the season saying, I don't know, what did that make sense? And so we're taking a little bit of time in this presentation to kind of think through kind of the business case for doing wholesale. Kind of mull over if it makes sense for you to start, or if you do it, should you do more of it? And we'll look at how to approach that. The first question that you might have is really about your own product quality. So kind of like this lady in this picture, food service directors, people in school food service, pretty knowledgeable about food, right? They can be very astute customers. And so if you're at the stage where you're like, hey, I'm 1 year in selling at one farmer's market, you might want to ask yourself, is my quality there? Can I meet the needs of a food service director, somebody that's used to buying in a case of a given quality consistently over time? You need to make that determination, kind of if that works for you. But if you're like, hey, I'm good, I want to explore selling wholesale more, I'd really like you to think about your marketing costs related to all of your different outlets or market channels, in order to get a sense about whether wholesale makes sense for you or not. Oftentimes, as operators, our life looks like this on the map, right? We have a farm, we go to one place, we go to a market, we come back, we go to another market, or we have a CSA delivery in another location, or we have a wholesale account over here, and we try to double them up in the same town. It gets kind of messy like this. And all of these things are marketing costs. Oftentimes people just think it's advertising. That's not the case. Really, the biggest marketing cost is transportation cost and your time. So there's a time of travel. There's a time of selling. Say if you're locked into a farmer's market for 5 hours, that's selling time. And there's also some direct marketing, direct selling fees or costs, such as vendor fees at a farmer's market, maybe a canopy, maybe labels and other materials you use related to for marketing supplies. So what I'd like you to do is think through your entire marketing mix, how you sell your products. In this example here, we have 2 farmers markets we're selling at. We have a farm stand we operate on farm. We sell to a nearby grocery, and we sell to a school. Now, in first looking at it, you see in this first row is total revenue, in terms of revenue on average per day. You take your revenue for each of these outlets for the year and examine it in light of your marketing costs. Now, the school at first blush doesn't look that good. It's only $600. We sell more at the 2 farmers markets. We certainly sell more at our farm stand. But I'd ask you to do is really list out your total marketing costs for each of those outlets for an apples to apples comparison. Sometimes it's helpful to do that on a per day basis. If you're going to a market, how far is it? How much time does it take? How much time are you there? Any other associated costs or fees added in? It could be for the season or for the day. And do that consistently across each of those market channels. You do that, we'd look at the total revenue and sales for that year, divided by all those marketing costs in order to get a net return. And then what we do is we divide that then by the total sales in order to get a return over marketing costs. So then we get this percent, it's basically the percent of earnings or sales that you're retaining after subtracting out the marketing costs. And this percent helps you do that apples to apples comparison well. So even though the school isn't a big moneymaker in terms of sales, there aren't high marketing costs. We're left with 58 cents of every dollar after we subtract those out, which is a lot better than what we're getting in our farmers market 2, a bit better than farmers market 1, but not as good as we're getting in our farm stand. And so with this kind of comparison, you can make some reasonable determinations about what you want to move forward with, or what you want to do more of, if you will. So hopefully this is a helpful way of approaching what you're currently doing, or estimating out what you could do in the future, so that you don't end up like this desperate guy, or at the very least, you'll be doing some thinking and making some decisions and moving forward into a bright future. Thank you.